So hello everyone, myself Faith, and today I will be solving Codeforces round 1096 div 3 question A. So what it says is, if a person is at a coordinate 0 comma 0 and he wants to reach to the position x comma y. For an example, if a person is standing at 0 comma 0 and he wants to reach to 1 comma 1. Okay, so what he can do is he can do two things. Firstly, he can take long steps and like in the x direction or in the y direction. So for an example, if a person is standing at 0 comma 0, he can take long step in the x direction, long step in the x direction, then he will be reaching to the position 2 comma 0. Or what he can do is he can take long step in the y direction. So long step in y direction, and he will be able to reach to 2 comma 0. Okay, so this is one case what we can do is, and other thing what we can do is we can take short step. So for an example, if a person is standing at 0 comma 0, then he can take short step in the x direction, then he will be able to reach to 1 comma 0. Or what he can do is he can take short step in the y direction, then he will be able to reach to the position 0 comma 1. So these are the two cases what we can do, like we can take long steps or we can take short step, but the condition is we can only use the short step at most once. So, like, there will be cases where we won't use the short step even once, and there will be cases that where we have to use short step once. So, let's try to see the test cases. So, for an example, let us take this test case. Okay, 10 comma 10. So, just a second. Let's say if a person is standing at 0 comma 0, okay, and he wants to reach to the position 10 comma 10. So what we are told is we can use long step unlimited times, and we can only use short step only once. So for an example, in this case, what will be the optimal solution would be, if a person is standing at 0 comma 0, then firstly he takes long step in the x direction, then he will be able to reach to 2 comma 0, then 4 comma 0, then 6 comma 0, then 8 comma 0, and then he will be able to reach to 10 comma 0. Now he will take long step in the y direction, long step in the y direction, then 10 comma 2, then you will be able to reach to the place 10 comma 4, 10 comma 6, 10 comma 8, and then 10 comma 10. And in this way we will be able to reach to the required solution, like required position. And if we are able to reach to the required position, then we will answer it as yes. And if we are unable to reach to the required position, then we will be answering it as no. So see, here the test case, time limit we have given is 1 second. Just a second, 1 second, and we know that in 1 second we are able to do 10 to the power of 8 operations. And here the t is 100, so let's divide it to 10 to the power 2. So now the operation would be 10 to the power 6, and then x and y are 10, 10 comma 10. So here 10. So we will be able to do 10 to the power of 5 operations. Okay. So now let us try to find some observation through this question. So for an example, if you want to reach to the position, let's say 4 comma 4, then what we can do is we are at a position 0 comma 0, then we will use firstly a long step in x direction. We will be able to reach the position 2 comma 0, then 4 comma 0, and then we will be using long step in the y direction, that is 4 comma 2 and 4 comma 4, and in this way we will be able to reach to the required position. So we will be answering it as yes. Okay, so from this what we can see is, if x and y, so let's say if x and y both are even, then we will only be using long steps, because for we are starting from the position 0 comma 0, so both the positions are even. So we will be able, like if we use long step, which is if we move two position on the x or on the y, we will eventually be getting the x and y both are even, like we will be getting both the positions as even. So if both the x and y are even, then we will only be using long step and we will reach to that position. So if x and y both are even, then we will be answering it as yes, because we will only be using long step and we will reach to this x and y position. Okay. So now let us take another example. For an example, if you want to reach to the position 4 comma 5 or 5 comma 4, like for both the case, we will be able to think for some like simultaneously we'll be working on both the conditions. So for an example, if we are standing at 0 comma 0, okay, so now we will be using the short step because we can use it once, like at most once. So what we can do is, here we know that both the positions are even, but here this position is even and this position is odd. And if we only use long step, then whatever x and y we will be getting, both the position will be even. But we want the y position to be odd. So what we can do is, at the first position, we will be using short step in the direction which, like in the direction if y is odd, then we will be going in y direction. Short position in the y direction, then we will be able to reach the position 0, comma 1. Okay. Now, we will only be, from here, we can't use short steps. We only, we are told to only use long step from this position because we have used it once. So, from this, we will be using long step in x direction, then we will be able to reach to the position 2 comma 1 and then 4 comma 1, and from here we will be using long step in the y direction because now we know that this position is even and this position is odd. And now if we use long step in the y direction, then the y would always be odd, and if it is odd we will be able to reach to this position. So we will be using long step in the y direction, then we will be able to reach to 4 comma 3 and then 4 comma 5. So in this way we are able to reach the required position. So from this what we can the same thing will be working on this 5 comma 4 as well. In 5 comma 4, in the first step we will be using short position in the x direction, then we will be able to reach to 1 comma 0, and then we will be using long step and we will be able to reach to this required position. So from this what we can conclude is, if like from both x comma y, if one of them is odd and if one is odd and other is even, then we will be using the short step in the odd direction and then we will only be using long step in the y direction. So from this we will be also able to reach to the required position. So if one of them is odd and other is even, then also we will be answering it as yes. Now let us like uh, take one more example. Like for an example, if you want to reach to the position 5 comma 5, then what we can do is, firstly we are at 0 comma 0. Now if we use long step, then both the position would be even only, but here both the positions are odd, so we have to make both the positions as odd. So for an example, if I use a short step in the x direction, then it will be able to reach to the position 1 comma 0, and from this we are now we can't use this short step. Now only we are told to only use long step from this position. So from this what we can do is, we can take long step in the x direction, then we will be able to reach to the position 3 comma 4 and then 5 comma 4 5 comma 0, sorry. And now from this position, if we take long position in the y direction, then we will be able to reach to the position 5 comma 2, then 5 comma 4 and then 5 comma 6. So now you can see is, we are told to reach to the position 5 comma 5, but we are unable to reach to that position. Like whatever steps optimal steps we take, we won't be able to reach to the position 5 comma 5 because we can use the short step only once. So we can make x, like either x or y, as odd. We cannot make both the position as odd. So if the both the positions are odd, then we won't be able to reach to that position. So from this, what we can conclude is, so if x and y both are even, or x is even, y is odd, or x is odd, y is even, then we will be able to definitely reach to that position. But if both the positions are odd, so let's say if x and y both are odd, then we won't be able to reach to that position. So we will be answering it as no. So from this we can say that if both the positions are odd, then we won't be able to reach to that position. And if like for rest of the case, we will be able to definitely reach to that position. So now let me just show you the solution. See, what I did was, firstly I took the input x comma y. Then I calculated the maximum value x from between x and y, and took the minimum value from x and y. And what I did was, if the maximum value, so let's say if x is maximum, and if it is equals to 0, which means x is even and y is also even, then we will be answering it as yes. If x is even, y is odd, or x is odd, y is even, then also we will be able to reach to that position. Else, and in this case, both the position would be odd, because we have took this case both even case, and one even and one odd case. So now the last case would be both odd. So if both the coordinates are odd, x comma y is odd, then we won't be able to reach to that position. So this is the solution of question A of div 3. Thank you.